Gentlemen, how are we doing? It's Wednesday again. I am good. In St. Louis, as you guys know, for work, so I apologize if there's any audio issues or whatnot. I'm on my cell phone, and it's hotel internet, so we'll see what happens here.
So it'll be vastly superior to me then.
Yeah, vastly superior to you. Sorry about the finger there on the screen. I'm also running the stream completely off of my cell phone, so that's a little interesting. Not going to be able to chat, not going to be able to see much anything else. That being said, this is a Twin Cities Carry live show, episode 20, I believe. Appreciate everybody for joining us. Yeah, I don't know. It's been an interesting world. Interesting few days, I should say. There's been some stuff that's come out. There's been some developments, if you will. Clearly, I don't have any notes in front of me as I'm like stumbling over my words. Like, usually I read off on the screen and it tells me what I need to say, so I can't function without notes. Yeah, so Twin Cities Carry live show, covered that. Episode 20, covered that. Usually some stuff I say, like, we're a firearms training company based in Twin Cities of Minnesota, providing permit to carry instruction, private lessons, DNR hunter's education, pretty much, everything.
Pretty much any conversation or jackassery involving guns and firearms.
Well, why else would we do this?
That's applied, right?
It's an excuse.
Can we put that on the screen somewhere? I don't know.
Not right now, because I'm on mobile. No. All
Too
right.
technical today.
All right. So, first up, I wanted to talk about the McCluskeys. If everybody will remember, in the peaceful protests of last summer, they're the St. Louis couple that went out onto their front lawn when a protest broke onto their private property. They were out there with the husband with his AR-15 and the wife with her little pistol that she was enunciating her words with, pointing at people, and as she's yelling at them, she's poking the pistol at them. So initially they'd been charged with, I forget exactly the original charges. They were a felony level. Hey, look who's joining us. And at the stream.
Welcome.
Hey, there's Mr. Functionality.
Hi.
Oh, so loud. Jason. Oh. Hi.
Hi. All right, say bye.
Bye.
Jason just got off his day job of asking people about the car warranties.
It was tough.
It's a tough crowd.
A lot of no's.
I haven't outbought him 3 times myself.
My list is not updated.
Problem is, he just keeps stealing the phone numbers for the Twin Cities Carry clients and calling them. We're doing half the work for him. Oh, Jason, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
No, it's just we're just jumping in. I don't know if you saw the McCluskeys down in St. Louis, which happens to be where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
They pled guilty to a misdemeanor, and they paid a fine, and they had to surrender the AR-15 and that ultimately what was a prop gun that the wife had.
It wasn't even a real gun? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the pistol she had was something that had been used. It had been rendered defective or ineffective, and used as a court prop. So they had to surrender their guns, and they pled to, what was it? Jim, what was the charge?
She pled to harassment, which was a $2,000 fine. He got 4th-degree assault, and that was a $750 fine. So I'm guessing harassment is a greater offense because, she was, fake gun or not, she was pointing at people, and he managed to have better muzzle control.
Yeah.
It looks like Mark also announced that he's running for a U.S. Senate seat.
Yep.
He is.
And he bought a brand new AR.
Well, he has a new AR. Do we know that he bought it? or was it given to him? Was
Not
that
a
a store
felon, you know?
promotion?
Wow.
There's been a lot of publicity about that.
That seems like something that a gun store would be happy to provide him with a new AR-15, right? I think that plays well in the gun community. So, yeah, well, good for him. I wish he would have gotten a different model AR-15, not the 1960s model of the AR-15.
Yeah, I don't. It says, he posted his photos of him checking out his new AR. So
Yeah, it just says he got a new one. It doesn't say anything about money.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not
semantics.
He still has got the gun.
Is it just me, or in that picture from the gun store, are the two of them putting a little more effort into their appearance now as well? Now that they've got some celebrity, the
yeah, he's running for office
important.
now. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he knows.
He dyed his hair, definitely.
Right? That's what I thought too. I only looked at it briefly on my phone here. I was like, oh, okay.
She kind of looks the same, but he looks a lot different. He doesn't. I think he went with contacts. Maybe start working out a little bit.
Yeah, he lost the glasses. He changed the hair color. It looks like the hair is maybe even a little more styled.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It looks like she's got considerably more makeup on.
Well,
you can't be ready all the time, Jim.
Admittedly, they weren't exactly prepared for cameras in the first round where everybody got the photos with the guns, kind of roll off the couch and grab the AR quick.
Yeah, weren't they entertaining though at the time? I mean, it was they were already outside and
No, they were not. I don't know if they were entertaining. They weren't already outside.
Okay, I thought they were.
I don't think so. I don't know. It was a while ago.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, they're not gun people. Like, I don't think that they were gun people before this. I don't think they are a good representation of gun people or the gun community. I don't know. I think that his run for Senate is disingenuous.
He's cashing in on his 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, I think it's disingenuous.
He's famous right now. He's trying to cash in on it, and he's got some ambition.
Fair.
I don't really think he's going to be a representative for the gun community at all.
No. Whatever. Good for them.
I wouldn't choose him.
No.
Not for representing my weapons.
Yeah.
No. You think at least go get some training. Figure out how to properly handle that AR-15. But whatever. I mean, I don't want to sit here and crap all over them. I disagreed with the charges. I didn't agree with how they handled the situation, but they were just trying to do what they could do in the situation that they were untrained for. So more power to them. I think the fact that they did have to ultimately plead guilty to a misdemeanor is ridiculous. But I guess they didn't have to. They chose to. So
it's one of those where I was up on a witness stand a lot in a previous career, and so I saw a lot of trials and judgments. And when you put your hands in a jury, or you put your fate in a jury's hands, I mean it's like rolling the dice. Logic and reason and truth don't necessarily win the day. So I can understand, if this came down to something that's really not going to affect them, it's money that is well within probably their petty cash fund, it's simpler to just move on.
Yeah, fair point. And I mean, they're lawyers; they understand how this works. They knew what they're doing. So
I mean, they didn't plead to a felony. They haven't lost their gun rights. This is nothing that's going to interfere with their lives.
Let's just hope this is the last time we talk about them.
It won't be.
No, it won't.
Not for Senator McCloskey.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I don't know. Is Missouri really the same? Is St. Louis representative of the whole state?
No.
We know St. Louis is kind of a messed up place, but Missouri as a whole seems to be a little bit more rational than St. Louis itself.
I will say,
I think he's got a chance of winning.
He's got money and friends that have money, so
right.
That's the first prerequisite.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. Well, I guess I mean I don't know enough about the political landscape down here. I don't know who he's running against. Is he running against Josh Hall? Not Hawley, right? Whatever. That's enough talk about them. I don't want to talk about them anymore. Texas. Talk about Texas again. Another state we talk about way too freaking much. Jim, there's been some developments in Texas. I think you know a little bit more. You followed a little closer. Do you want to give a quick rundown on those?
Yeah, for those of you who have watched, I was talking to Joel. He's updated me a little bit. The Governor Abbott did sign that permitless carry bill into law, but there were a bunch of other things that he signed at the same time, including a change in their law with regard to suppressors. And now if a suppressor is made in the state of Texas, bought by a Texas resident, and never leaves the state of Texas, they're going to consider that now not subject to the federal tax stamp, $200 application fee. And what was it for you, AJ? 15, 16 months of wait?
Yeah, I think it was at 14 and change, yeah.
Yeah, so now in Texas, if you're a resident, as long as the suppressor was made in Texas, you can go buy it and walk out.
That's
so
something.
I didn't. It doesn't prohibit the ATF from charging.
Well, it's just like all of those sanctuary cities and sanctuary counties and or states that are allowing marijuana. I mean, if you're going to say something is legal in your state, but at the federal level it's still illegal, there's always the possibility the feds are going to come after you. So I'm certainly, you and I have discussed this. I certainly do not want to be the test case.
Right.
Well, I mean, those 80% guns, right? Prime example.
So the states that have decriminalized, that have decided to not charge.
Made legal.
There we go. Marijuana. That's because the federal government flat out gave up on the war on marijuana. At least I don't see the ATF giving up on the war on guns, and they truly are. They see themselves as having a war on guns. So I don't see that happening. I really think that the ATF is going to immediately set up stings and arrest people and charge them federally.
Well, sucks. I mean, what they also wanted to do was strike. Part of the bill was making it illegal for law enforcement to actually stop somebody based off of them seeing them with a gun, but they didn't get that in the bill. So I think that's their safety net, if you will, with the ATF saying we'll let everybody carry without a permit, but we also have the right to question anybody who we see a gun with.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think it's good for Texas. I agree with what they're doing. I hope whoever decides to be the test case on this, I wish them the best of luck. I think it's about time Texas, that's the 21st constitutional carry state now?
Yep.
We're getting close to that tipping point of 50%, which is awesome. That's good. Texas can now, they pretend to be the freest state in the union. They're one step closer to be actually being a free state in the union. They're not as free as they say they are. I mean, I don't like St. Louis, but Missouri is a little more free than Texas is. So whatever, good for them. There's a lot of back and forth. It took a lot of time to get it done, but hey, we got 21 states. I don't remember where we were at this time last year for states, but I think we were in the low teens, to be honest, for constitutional carry states. So
yeah, it seems like we've added 5 or 6 at least.
Yeah, it's been pretty rapid fire here the last few months.
We'll see how many people get tickets or arrested before September 1st when this rolls out. Because people are like, ooh, constitutional carry starts right now.
So I've been reading some of the slanted news articles, that are clearly pushed by anti-gun activists or organizations, and now anybody can, carry a gun. Like, the criminals were already carrying a gun without a permit anyways. They're already going to go out and do what they're going to do. This just makes it easier for people to defend themselves. I'm curious. I'll read the text of this later. I'm wondering what kind of carve-outs they have for, like, you can't carry on public transit, which is something that is here in the state of Missouri. You can't carry on public transit, which...
Well, at least at the moment, they have two kinds of signs down there.
Mm-hmm.
And, we have the one that says... just informationally, the property owner doesn't like guns, so don't let them know you have one. But down there, the signs carry the weight of law, and one of them says you cannot open carry, and the other one says you cannot carry at all. And I mean, they do have the weight of law behind them, as if, say Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. So I would assume those signs are still in effect.
Well, yeah. They said that it's now either concealed or carry openly in a holster. But they also have to change everything because now they're adding belt it used to be belt or shoulder, but now they have to expand it to the belly bands, waistband holsters, ankle holsters, pockets, and thigh holsters, and more, they say.
It seems like it'd just be easier to say you can carry open or concealed. But it must be holstered.
Yeah, it does say that you can carry openly or concealed in public in most state government buildings and businesses that do not prohibit them. So you can carry anywhere that doesn't have a sign, I believe.
Yeah. Fair enough. Nice.
Does Bruce Willis carry tape to the, between your shoulder blades count?
Yeah, the old Die Hard maneuver.
Yeah, that Christmas movie, Die Hard.
As long as it covers the trigger guard completely, I consider it a holster.
Duct tape holster. I like it.
Hey, holster. Double leg drops. Everywhere I go, double leg drops. Oh, I don't know. Good for Texas. Like I said, they're one step closer to being actually free. They'll get there one day. So, all right, guys. I don't have anything in front of me. Jim, I don't know what else you had pulled up on the list. I apologize. Running this on my phone, it's not really... Not good.
Well, there were a couple of things I picked up that we could go down any kind of a rabbit hole from the standpoint of relating it to carry. Some guys at a pizza shop called 911 to say there was a shooting, and went into that whole we feared for our lives and we shot in self-defense. Sort of above and beyond what we recommend you say to the 911 operator if you call after a shooting, so I thought that would also be a nice chance to roll, what do they call themselves? The pot lawyers video?
Yeah.
If anybody wanted to.
Bucket fry.
We really, really talk about this guy's way too much.
Well, it's because they have such a good message and they relay it so effectively.
Jason, do you know who we're referring to?
No, I work for a living.
Pot Brothers at Law.
Oh, yeah. No, okay. I think I remember.
Lawyers, yeah.
They have an ongoing thing. They call it "Shut the Fuck Up Friday." They just remind everybody when interacting with police to shut the fuck up.
Correct.
Yeah, so that whole idea when you call on the phone, don't say, "Well, I was in fear for my life," or "I shot in self-defense." That stuff doesn't help.
No, that's not where you need to be making your case.
Keep it to a minimum.
They went into they went into a lot. Like the call was, there's one that's got a big crowbar and had what looked like a knife, and they were sprinting towards us. It looked like a knife or hedge.
Yeah, I mean, they're presenting a courtroom defense on the phone, and it's just no.
That's where you mess up.
I haven't heard this. Does it sound staged?
I don't have a recording, but it seems way too well put together. You know what I'm saying?
They compared notes before
it was
they
prepared
called.
for sure, right? Like that's where we're going with this.
Yeah, and the second caller didn't identify themselves.
Nice, even better.
Oh my god,
he's bleeding really bad. We need an ambulance ASAP, please.
ASAP. Well, at least he said please. This is the magic word.
Did this individual have their wallet when they arrived to the to the hospital? Because it's not the place to make it. It's not the place to make the case. Shut up. Let your lawyer do your talking for you. which is a good caveat. Like to say, if you don't have insurance, get carry insurance. You're gonna need it.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure all four of us have carry insurance. So if you did, well, because at least you'll have somebody who can deliver your prepared statement for you in better setting.
Proofread it.
Oh, God. Spell check.
Yeah, speaking of spell check, did you intentionally type your name that way, Shane?
Nope. How did I write it?
Shame.
Shame.
Nice. Nice.
I don't think I can change it either.
No, you cannot. You will forever be known as Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Shame.
Oh, he just jumps off.
Shame.
Too much shame.
What about you want to quickly touch on that video that we have on Facebook with the accidental face shooting at the gun range?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad because, I mean, whenever we go to the range and we tell people, if you get brass, put the gun down, take the burn. And that's exactly why we tell people to do that, because, well, you might shoot yourself in the face.
Well, I mean, how many times have you been at the range and yelled at somebody 4 lanes over?
Yeah.
Because they're dancing around as the route. I mean, it's so universal. But yeah, I mean, I get it. That thing is hot. It hurts. But you've got to put the gun down.
Now I don't like what the sheriff was saying, basically shaming this guy and not knowing like who this guy was. He basically said you can't just buy a gun and go to the range and shoot. You need training. Well, the guy might have had training. We don't know. He could have been a expert marksman, but like the sheriff just goes right into eating this guy alive, and I'm like,
yeah, he does.
Let's just focus on, hey, if you're going to the range, know what you're doing. Don't know if this guy did, but know what you're doing. Take a course like TC Carry or something.
Well, and
Where did
let's
this
be
happen?
honest, right? We
It sounded
on this
south.
for about 8 seconds. What and our training is, let's just generalize it and say 6 hours long, right? We touch on this for about 8 seconds. 8 seconds is probably not changing the scenario. So the sheriff going on and on about getting training.
Well, in that 6 hours, how much do they remember? 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Everybody's different, right? So
Most of them just remember
so
no
much
drinking.
at them. I mean,
No drinking.
there's no way they can remember it all.
Okay, Rook, where did this happen? What state? Was it in Minnesota?
No.
Oh, okay.
I
No,
don't
it was a
remember.
southern sheriff.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He was Billy. He was Sheriff Billy.
So
There was a couple of ticks south of the Mason-Dixon line there, I think.
I was watching a YouTube video, and I'm not going to go into it, what or where, but this gentleman had just recently shot his right eye out with a 45 ACP round. He was shooting in a frying pan and took a ricochet right through his just regular glasses, took his eye out.
You got to do cast iron.
Yeah, for real. You get Teflon in your eye, it's game over.
You didn't have it angled?
I mean,
Oh
I
no.
don't know.
just flat on.
Well, hey. We all know a certain somebody who took a ricochet to the nuts. So
We do.
It wasn't the nuts.
the nuts.
Was it the
It wasn't the berries. It was the
Not the
twig.
berries.
it was a branch now known as twig.
And as I like to say in class, we got it on tape.
It's amazing that we got it on tape, honestly.
Let's roll that
You-
beautiful
you-
bean footage.
You
You guys should have it
If I had
queued
it
up.
good and ready, maybe next week. Beautiful bean
okay,
footage.
we
Oh,
can
the
let-
play on words here.
We can laugh because ultimately he wasn't hurt permanently serious. He himself laughed at
Mostly
it.
his ego. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, it's you got to be careful. You got to think about that stuff. If you've never been around guns, you didn't learn this stuff growing up, it's not the first thing that comes to your mind. It's another point is going to. You want to find a good range, a range that's going to have an RSO out there, somebody who's paying attention, somebody who's going to correct you from doing bad things, uneducated or even stupid things, right? Like if you go to the range to give anybody a gun, give you bullets, say, yeah, go have fun, whatever. It's probably not the place you want to be you want to be spending your time shooting. It's unsafe, right?
Well, and I've had a lot of conversations lately with customers who'd like to go to a different range for their shooting test than we're able to do at the moment. But I explain what's going on, and you'd be surprised how often they come back with, well, you know what? Maybe it's not such a big deal because the last couple of times I've been there, it hasn't been safe. You know, there's all these kids that don't know what they're doing, and there's no one walking around supervising, and they're all, you know, just sitting there taking selfies as they're shooting. And yeah, I mean, you do kind of want to pick a range that has an RSO right there. I mean, kudos to Stock and Barrel. They're an expensive place, but there is at least always somebody on the range keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, $20 for me to not die, I don't consider that expensive.
Yeah, when you say expensive, Jim, I guess I don't go to a lot of different ranges than Stock and Barrel, where it's, you know, weekends are, you know, $18 and weekdays are $20 or something like that. What's the average cost or price that you're seeing at different ranges?
Actually,
I'm saying expensive based on what we are paying to the range for range. I couldn't tell you the last time I paid a range.
I would argue that the unsafe range is more expensive than the safe range we are talking about.
Well, the unsafe range is priced themselves out of the realm of possibility anyway, and they were certainly more to begin with. But at the moment, Stock and Barrel is the most expensive range we're using.
Did you say Williams, AJ, or was that Bill? Bill or William? Williams gun range, pistol range,
Williams gun store and
Emporium
and fuckery at play.
They had a drive-through at one point, didn't they?
They did. Yeah, was that maybe
now,
3 years ago?
Seriously?
Somebody drove a truck through the upstairs gun store entrance and then
did they get in
and rob the place?
Couldn't have happened to a nicer place.
Oh boy!
We're just not even friends with the gun community anymore. I'm not even ashamed. I don't care.
Yeah, he's like the most anti-gun range gun store owner I've ever seen.
He's just out for the buck, you know.
Yeah, he's just,
and that's fine. I mean, businesses are supposed to make profits, but
would you say he's out for the bills?
What's more lucrative? What's more lucrative than an instructor going there at the rate they charge us? You know, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, so be it. I took a turn there. I don't know how
that's not the first time we've made that turn. I'm sure it won't be the last.
No, that's why I call it internet shit talking. Oh boy. Okay.
Well,
now what else?
Awkward moment.
Else? Yeah, whatever.
How do we recover?
We don't.
How about those Vikings?
All right, well,
did one of them get shot 4 times?
Yeah, in DC.
He
think he went to a certain gun range.
Nice. Yeah, I did see that actually. That one of them did get shot a couple times. He said it was out in DC.
They said that they were all through and throughs, and that he's going to make it to home opener.
Well, that's what's important, right?
Got shot with Full Metal Jacket. All right.
Yeah. The guy doesn't want to lose his bonus for playing every game.
Hollow points are expensive right now, Jim. Okay. You only use those when you're trying to make a point.
You use what you can get. That's all.
This was just a little friendly, don't fuck with me shooting.
Oops.
So Full Metal Jackets are just warning shots, huh?
Sorry, bud. I got a hot shell.
That's why he's on defense. Couldn't even catch a bullet.
Oh boy. Nice. Didn't one of the Vikings players? Wasn't there another Vikings player that got shot a couple of years ago?
Yeah, probably a list of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say over the years, there's got to be several.
Well, I know there's been several. I mean, NFL players that have been involved in situations.
No, you don't say.
Situations.
They're all well educated, though.
All college grads, right?
Right.
Hey, they all have more schooling than I have. How's that? What's the phrase? I don't have an overabundance of schooling. Clearly. So
Clearly.
yeah.
Shame.
Hey,
Shame.
I got it on the second try.
Yeah, you got your name right the second time. Good for you, buddy.
I get a gold star today. Okay.
Things
Goddamn gold
are
star.
looking up.
Could be worse. All right, Jim. What else did you have on that list that we can tear apart?
The one I kind of thought would be the best topic, because that whole idea of whether you should carry the one in the chamber comes up a lot when you're dealing, mostly with newer
Newbies.
people. But the person just said, I have a 9mm Ruger with a striker fired gun. I carry with a spandex belly holster. I'm afraid of the safety being pushed, so I carry with the chamber empty, which
Here's
makes
my
for a
answer.
very slow drawn fire. Yeah, you may
Get
as
a
well be
gun
carrying
without
a
a
rock.
safety, and you don't have to worry about the safety.
So they're carrying a gun with a safety unchambered in a belly band.
Yeah, exactly. Do we want to make a list of how many things are wrong here?
So it's not fair. So it's not fair to say it's wrong, right? But they're uneducated. They're new.
It shows
and
their inexperience for
they're
sure.
cautious. Let's not rip on them. I don't want to rip on anybody for not knowing better and for being cautious, because hey, they could be out at the range and catch some hot brass, right? And they didn't do that. At least they're being cautious.
At Bills, they could.
Well,
Who?
I love the saying of, if you don't carry one in the chamber, you will be racking the rest of your life. Meaning, if it's not ready, you're going to try to rack the gun and you're going to get shot. Now, that's the way I was when I first started carrying a weapon. I was so nervous. I thought that thing was going to go off every time I flinched, moved, or did something. I think after a couple of weeks of carrying it, because your body's got to get used to how you carry your weapon.
Oh, yeah.
After I got used to that, I started carrying one in the chamber, and I think it just goes to they might be new, it might be a new gun. They just want to make sure. If you don't feel comfortable having one in the chamber, how you're carrying, because you feel that you might hit the safety off, switch how you carry.
yeah.
Because obviously you'll never be comfortable that way. And you said it was a belly or a torso band or something like that?
He says a spandex belly holster, so I'm getting the idea that it's probably a belly band.
Okay.
You can definitely tell, too, just by the language, it is somebody who is not very firearm savvy, so likely somebody who's very new.
Then they're going to buy a couple more holsters to figure out how they want to carry.
A couple.
I mean, the bottom line is, let's be very clear, carry one in the chamber. It might take you some time to get comfortable there, but in the end, you should be doing that. That's just a best practice.
Yeah, I didn't have the same issue as Jason from the standpoint of carrying one in the chamber. I didn't have that concern. I did, however, think absolutely everybody in the world knew I was carrying the second I left my house.
Well, you open carry. No, I'm just kidding.
When I point at it walking
In the
down
hand.
road, hey, did you see this?
Everybody's going to see this thing.
Yes. Walmart special.
Check it out.
Yeah, I'm carrying a gun now.
Yeah.
I'm
Guess
just
who
your
got
bank
his
teller.
permit?
Yeah, Jason, I like your idea there that, if you carry, in an empty chamber, you're going to be racking the rest of your life. The way I tend to talk about it is carrying on an empty chamber is like driving around with your seatbelt not on, thinking that you're going to have time to put it on when you see the accident coming.
Mm-hmm.
But what I said to the guy in response was, look, you have a problem that is between your ears, but that doesn't make it not a legitimate problem. You either need to figure out how to get past this or get a different holster so that you are comfortable with the security of it. But yeah, I think we would all agree that as we see more and more experience in the carry holder, the more likely they are to carry with something that doesn't have a manual safety, and the more likely they are to carry with one in the chamber, just because you get comfortable with the idea that, okay, it isn't going to go off just because it's sitting there in a holster.
To qualify everything we said, there are absolutely firearms that you should carry with the safety on. AJ, you can speak to that specifically.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
mean, the 1911 platform is designed to be carried that way, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So if he's got, I mean, I don't know if he's got like an SR 1911 or something he's carrying in a belly band.
No, he says it's a Ruger ECP. I think the Ruger makes an ECR, don't they? So it's probably a typo.
ECR.
LCP
they make an
maybe?
LCR, but it's a hammer fired. I'm not familiar with.
Well, there's one that's
Oh.
like the LCR, but like the sights are different or something, and that's the ECR, I think.
Oh, so we're talking a revolver here.
No,
Well, those are always chambered, aren't they?
it's a question of whether the chamber is in front of the barrel, though, because the chambers rotate in the revolver.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I'm trying to find, but I could have swore that there was maybe a state or two that allows carrying, but you cannot carry legally with one in the chamber.
So generally speaking, there are some variations here, and this is a common variation in laws that have permitless or constitutional carry. There are states out there that for you to be able to do that, I believe Texas used to be one of them. Utah was one of them for a while too. That to open carry without a permit, to carry without a permit, it needed to be open and unchambered. And then to be able to conceal it, you needed a permit. So I mean, there's a lot of variations there and difference by state, but that's very true.
I can believe it or not, I get the logic behind that. I see where they're going with that. I don't even hate it.
See, I
That
got
being
the
said-
gun. I got the gun wrong that I was thinking of. I was thinking of the EC9. So I'm not sure what gun this guy has, whether it's an EC9 or an LCP. He just says it's a 9mm striker fired gun, so that would rule out an LCP. I'm guessing it's an EC9.
Yeah.
But
So
back to what AJ said, it's preferred best practice carry around in the chamber because 3 seconds you can die within 3 seconds, even from a knife fight. So get more comfortable with it. Start doing it around your house. Carry it with it chambered around the house. You'll see that it's not going to. I had to overcome that battle too. When, like I said, right when I first started handling my own firearms and stuff like that, I felt it could go off anytime. And then after carrying and getting more comfortable, I knew that there was so many actions that had to happen for it to go off that it was not going to. So I think it's a lot of practice, and making your body comfortable.
Yeah, and one more thing to keep in mind too, carrying on an empty chamber is making the assumption that you're going to have both hands available and useful. So if the first thing that happens is one of your arms gets injured, you're not even going to be racking your slide for the rest of your life.
So we talked about, why you should work towards carrying one in the chamber. And you know what? If you want to carry with empty chamber, safety on, great. Work towards carrying one with the chamber and safety on, and then work towards carrying one in the chamber, safety off. That's good. That's the progression you should take if you need to understand it. That's awesome. I commend anybody who's willing to work on that. The other thing I would say is don't feel embarrassed when you get to this point. Don't hate the gun you made a decision. You don't beat yourself up in the gun you decided to buy. Just realize that it's a learning and a growth thing, kind of like when we talk in class about, hey, here's the guns I see fail on the range. And if I see them fail in ideal conditions, you don't want them in unideal conditions. And same thing I tell people, like, don't beat yourself up because you got a gun I'm telling you isn't great, that I'm saying I don't like. It's your starter. It's where you began. It's maybe it fit the need. It fit your finances. It's what you could afford. It got the job done. Great. Just take it as a learning experience and an excuse to go buy another gun. And
yeah, because I mean, we all talk about that box of holsters that you acquire as you learn and evolve as to how you carry. Are any of us carrying the same gun that we started carrying when we first got a permit?
no.
We've all changed the gun that we carry too, just because what works in our mind is different now than it was then because we've evolved throughout this process. So there's almost no part of this that can't change.
Let's be honest. We're all going to go buy the next new hot freaking conceal carry gun anyway. So I mean,
Yeah, I can't wait for the Gen 6 Glock to come out, you know?
Ooh. Did you see the new high point specs, bro?
Ah,
got a
does it
red
still
dot
have
on my
dollar
high
bills on
point.
it?
The red dot costs twice as much as my high point.
The magazine sits on top of the barrel now. It's but
Revolutionary.
I got a question. So I have 3 different daily carries depending on what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So my guns actually change along with the position. Is that what you guys do as well? Like you might have a hip, you might have a shoulder, you might have a lower back or ankle or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
100%.
Generally speaking, mine will, where I'm carrying will dictate what gun I'm carrying. It's not even, you don't pick what gun. And I mean, it's if I'm open carrying, this is my open carry gun. If I'm concealing on the waist, I'm carrying that gun. If I'm doing deep conceal, it's going to be that gun,
Oh, and then even so, like the seasons change.
Oh, yeah.
As the seasons change, gun selection becomes more free as it gets colder. What I'm wearing, what I'm doing that day, like, yeah, 100%. It's an ever evolving situation.
Now, Jason, I've got a follow-up question for you, though.
I mean, you're not going to ride your motorcycle in the wintertime, right?
Man,
I had a buddy who did,
maybe.
man. As long as the roads were clear, it didn't matter if it was 20 below, he rode his motorcycle.
All right. Logic would dictate you shouldn't drive your motorcycle in the winter, right?
All right, AJ, do you have a motorcycle? Then shut up. You put screws in the tires and you got grip for days, bro.
Logic would dictate shouldn't drive your motorcycle in the wintertime.
You can go get the suit that plugs into the little heater off the block and circulates.
Harley has it, about $700. You can ride when it's cold, snowing. I used to ride my motorcycle in December with a snowsuit. So
yeah, my buddy had a Ninja, so it's not like he had any of those accessories to plug into. He just dressed warm and it worked for him. It wasn't any different than driving a snowmobile as far as he was concerned.
Did you have a question though, Jim? You said, or
I did. So you say 3 different guns that you carry.
Mhm.
Do they all work the same? It's
No.
what I call the one paradigm approach. I think if you carry multiple guns, they all should be of the same. You shouldn't have one that's a striker fired gun that doesn't have a manual safety. One is a 1911 with a manual safety. Do you do the same kind of philosophy there in choosing your carry guns, given that you got multiples?
So anything that I carry on my torso or upper chest is going to be a semi-automatic that does not have a safety.
Upper chest?
Yeah, with my bulletproof vest and stuff, it sits right here,
right there.
and it's
Yep.
But if I'm wearing an ankle, it's a revolver, the gut buster. I'll put the revolver down there, kind of as my throw gun. Just kidding, my backup gun. Yeah. So,
but same concept. It's still going to be a pull the trigger and go. There's no manual safety that has to be turned off.
Yep.
There isn't something that makes that gun functionally very different. I think the last thing you need to be doing if you're drawing a gun because the big bad guy is coming at you, figuring out, okay, is this the one where I have to turn off the safety, or can I just go? So, I think all of us have multiple choices, but I do encourage people to make sure that they all work the same. There should be as little thought involved when you need to start pulling that trigger to save your life as possible.
mhm.
So I'm not picking on you, Jim. Honestly, I'm not. You do take that to a bit of an extreme that maybe other people don't, to the sense that you're concerned, is it a flat-faced or a curved trigger even? Like that's the thought you put into the process. Which I'm not ripping on you. I think it's appropriate.
you can definitely make an argument that I take things too far. That would be an assessment of me in general. But
then at other times you don't, like when they change your phone number on you and you're just like, I'll wait.
I want the number back is what I want.
No, I'm
Wait,
not.
they changed
And they didn't change the number, they dumped it.
No.
We're not going there.
Is it because you had that analog phone from 1974 with the backpack battery still? The ones that came without an area code?
I'll be honest, Jim, I stopped short of the other day. You sent us that text that said, I don't know how to watch videos on this antiquated phone. And I stopped short of saying, I didn't even know how you saw it on a rotary dial. I was like, he's pretty upset about the phone already. I'm just going to let it be.
So do you got a jitterbug now?
No, I borrowed one of them fashion phones from a relative.
He's so sad right now.
He's angry. Yeah,
He's angry.
it's a long story.
I'm
is.
carrying an iPhone for the first time in my life.
Oh, now the government knows exactly everything that you do.
Now I know they
Well-
certainly know where I am.
Yeah, but
No,
it's
you-
like the Israeli government. It's not a big deal. The
are you
Turkish
talking about?
government.
Hey, those Turkish 9s are good though.
They are. Canics are Turkish.
Oh yeah, I got mine before they were popular.
I was just talking about that the other day in class. Like, I wish because a gentleman asked about, what do you think of the Canics? I'm like, I think they're great guns. I wish I would have bought one when they were $450 versus $750. Like,
I got it at 400. I love it. 9mm. It's got the extended slide release, so my thumb doesn't hurt. I don't know about you guys, or if you can see this. I got these little thumbs here, and when I try to hit the slide release, it hurts a lot. But with the Canic, it's like butter, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're really selling it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with that.
Canics.
Say about
Good
small
for dudes
phones,
with little thumbs.
You never know. Okay, somebody could be watching this and be like, "Hey."
Target market.
I'm sure there's a Facebook group out there.
I'm just
for
reminded
dudes
of that
with little
Burger
thumbs.
King commercial with the dude with the little hands.
It's so big.
Oh God. Yeah, back to. I wish I'd have bought a Canic when they were cheap. Although, I mean, whatever. Maybe that's the new price. Everything's a couple $100. Literally everything is more money now. So cool.
Yeah, I get emails from a gun store, and I was just looking. They said, "Oh, we got Gen 5 Glock 19s in stock now, $647."
I took a call from Jason earlier today about my car's warranty, and even that's gone up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I can't help it. But the market's going up and the cars are going down. So we need used cars too. If you want to sell those, we'd be interested in your 2005 Nissan Alta. So if you still have that,
I was gonna say Saturn. Your 2000 Saturn. Paying a premium.
It doesn't have the towing capacity, but it's a good car, okay?
Oh boy, it's probably a good spot to stop for the night.
Well, if we're going to wrap it up on that, I got one last minor thing. June is National Safety Month, and a lot of gun organizations are jumping on the bandwagon and supporting gun safety in June, being Safety Month. So, National Shooting Sports Foundation has a branch called Project Child Safe, where if people need locks for firearms, you can get them for free. Most local police departments, if you just go to projectchildsafe.org, you can click on a map. It'll show you where to get one. There's no paperwork. There's no questions. You go in, you ask for one, they give you one, and you leave. So highly encourage that.
Yeah, if you don't have any other way of locking it up, you have children in the house, you do need to lock it up. So
Do it.
It absolutely works. All right, gentlemen, I will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you much for joining me. Jason, glad you joined us again. Everybody else out there, we'll see you in 2 weeks.